Hey everybody, we're going to be talking to a very special friend today of Home Repairs Ministries. My name is Jim Eschenberg. I'm the Director of Development for Home Repairs Ministries. And today, like I said, we're talking to a friend of ours who's been very involved with our ministry for a number of years. Hi Keller.
Hi.
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and your family?
I have 5 children, ages right now 19 through 10 years old. I'm a single mom of those 5. There's 2 girls and 3 boys.
And what was the situation you faced when you called HRM in the first place?
Actually, I did not call HRM. I did not call Home Repairs Ministries. I was so utterly overwhelmed with the last straw about to break the camel's back that another single mom called on my behalf. And she said, you've got to get in touch with Home Repairs Ministries. They'll help you. And I said, okay. So the conditions were at that time, my kids were 1 year. My youngest son, Timothy, has Down syndrome. He was 1 year old. And then my oldest son was 9 at the time. So it was very overwhelming moving back here after a really hard divorce and being on my own with 5 children to take care of everything. So Home Repair Ministry was my valiant knight in shining armor.
And what did Home Repairs Ministries do for you in terms of project work? Did they work on a couple things?
What projects did they not work on for me? They did everything from cutting up my backyard apple tree that fell over during a storm the first year we were here, to Ron Dieter and his discipleship team coming over and putting in a huge swing set that another family at Perimeter had donated, to replacing all the screens on my screen porch because there were too many bugs in there and we couldn't go out there, so they completely replaced all the screens and painted, to mowing the lawn and then giving us a lawnmower because we didn't even have a lawnmower. I could just say they did everything that I could possibly think could have been done.
One of the secrets about the ministry not many people realize is we employ an army of highly paid, highly skilled laborers. Just kidding. Obviously, we're an all-volunteer organization. Tell me a bit about the quality of the work they did. Did they do it in a timely fashion? What was your impression of the work they did?
Well, knowing what engineers are like, I thought, are all these guys engineers? Because they're so precise. And they're so, they prepare really, really well. They know exactly what they're doing before they get there. They've got a plan. They execute their plan, and all the time, just very, very joyful. But as far as professionalism goes, very professional. I never had to worry about picking up after them or trying to figure something else that wasn't covered, because they always covered everything, and they always cleaned up everything, and they always did really, really well.
What impact did this all have on your family, these projects that they did?
So a couple things on that. The first would be that it affected how my children viewed the church. I think previous to that time, the church was more like something that you went off to, like it was a satellite out there that you beamed into once a week. But when Home Repairs Ministries, when all you guys, Harvey and Ron, when everybody came over and were in my home and hugging on my kids and asking how their day went and asking things that they liked, and even sometimes letting them help when they were real little. That's a big deal for little kids. It was that. It was that they were actually my family and my community. That impacted my children to see that church wasn't somewhere you beamed into. It was your family. It was your community. So.
And did it have any kind of spiritual dimension to it, the impact HRM had on you?
Yes, and I think the biggest thing spiritually is, anytime I'm affected spiritually, it is seeing something true in action. So I'd love to read the James passage that I wrote to you guys earlier.
Please do.
Earlier on. James 2:14-18 says, "What good is it, my brothers, if a man claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, 'Go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed,' but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. But someone will say, 'You have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by what I do.'" So that's what Home Repairs Ministry is all about. Their theme is about repairing homes and repairing hearts. So not only are they people who are hands-on doing what they say is true about who God is and how He cares for us, but also the repairing hearts part. Most of the time, the situations I think that I've seen that Home Repairs Ministries has gone into are situations that are really challenging and people are really hurting and there's transitions and they're awkward. And so the healing hearts part is very significant. More so than any of the projects that were done in my home. It was the contact with these wonderful men and the hugs for my children and just their presence, really like the presence of God in my home.
Right, and obviously we got a bunch of people behind this camera right here who represent supporters, the donors, the volunteers of Home Repairs Ministries, those who are praying for the ministry. Would you like to say anything to them in closing?
I just want to say, I love you guys! I love you guys! Thank you so much for coming into my home, and not so much even just the projects, which you're really good at, but just that you loved on me and my family in one of the hardest seasons we've ever been through. And for you that are supporting, for you that are praying, for you that are considering supporting and praying and joining a team, you will be so thankful that you did. It is just a great group of people, and the impact that you can have not only on a home structure, which really isn't the impact, but on people's lives, on the lives of the children, the next generation, and everything is invaluable. Invaluable. Thank you so much.
Kelly, thanks so much for giving me your time, telling us your story, and we really appreciate you coming out.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.